Okay, guys, listen up, please. Now, we need 3 goals here tonight to break the Champions League goal scoring record. So I don't care if you concede 10. Just make sure that you've lost the game 10-3.
Synger sammen til segerstråpen, Malta, Grindavik. Og jeg vet, hvis bakken ger I dag.
Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Grindavik on the Impossible Dream. Season 10, episode 11 today, the final episode of Season 10. We have Juventus away in our final game in the Champions League. We cannot progress, but 3 goals and we can break Manchester City's goal-scoring record. So let's really try and get that. Now, a couple of things we've got to catch you up on here. The main one is the kids. It's not been our year in Europe this year. They drew 2-2 with Juventus. So that means if we scroll down here, 27th, only 1 win, which is disappointing, but 4 draws, 3 defeats, a -3 goal difference, 7 points. A little bit like us in the Champions League, it feels like. Competitive, but not competitive enough. So yeah, that is them done in Europe as well. So yeah, disappointing season this season for the club. There is no doubts about that. We have had lots and lots of bids coming in for our players. So far we've been able to reject them all, but the list of unhappy players continues to grow, and yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. There will be departures this coming transfer special, which will be next episode, of course. But we'll have to wait and see exactly who that is and where we go. We weren't able to do a deal for Higuain. We'll keep trying until he goes out somewhere else. He went back to Manchester City. He's currently listed for loan there. But Manchester City aren't willing to play ball because they want a mandatory fee. He doesn't want to join us. And so we've sort of hit that little bit of a dead end, I guess. Now, let's not waste any more time. Let's get this game underway. And we are expecting a 3-4-3, I suppose you'd call it. But it's somewhat of a Juventus bus park, it has to be said. This is the team we're sending out. We are going to just try this and just see how it goes for us. It may work, it may not. But we won't know unless we try, will we? So Rafa in goal. Immonen and Degen will be the back 2. Juleson, Jonsson and Depe will be... that line. Bakali and Wemberto. Now, we're going to try them both as Mazzellas here. Now, he's a wonder kid, is Wemberto. Just realised that. I don't know if it's going to work or not. It may not. It may. Again, we're going to find out. Alaku will be the advanced playmaker with Gadini and Baltinson going up front. I figured if we need 3 goals to break this record, which is really all we have to play for in this one, then we'll put our best players out there and let's just see what happens. Alright, so we can see the team sheets here. Igor Tudor. Now, he was a defender for Juventus, I'm fairly sure. Who else do we recognise here? Federico Chiesa and Vlahovic are still there. Daniel Iverson is a name that sounds familiar to me. Fabio Vieira as well. I don't know why. That might just be one of those regen names that just sounds familiar. There's no pressure on us. It's exact revenge. I'm assuming Juventus. I think we played Juventus last year as well, didn't we? So... yeah, well, it's probably, you know what, it was probably when we had that, the last time we had the nightmare draw. Alright, and here we go. Here we go. It's a weird formation, isn't it? It's one of these where it feels like they're very much limiting themselves with who they can, how many players they can get forward, but yeah, we'll see. We'll try and keep them busy and, you know, with our attacking players. I mean, really, we've got an attacking 3 plus then wide players as well. I'm hoping, too, that our fullbacks will be able to pin theirs back a little bit. Maybe, or I don't know, who knows. I'm probably wishful dreaming there, aren't I? But we'll see. Of course, today we do have our end of season awards and our goal of the season competition as well. Hopefully we'll have some late entrants for that in this one. I'm recording this before last episode went out. It's so disappointing not to have been able to beat the 9 men of Hertha Berlin. That felt like the universe giving us a chance, and then we didn't take it. But anyway, we are officially out. And this is just, for 3 goals pride and hopefully a record. Here we go with Wemberto. Wemberto can't quite force the ball through for Gadini. And what we don't need is to fall behind here. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be sort of sniffed at the, 800 grand that we would get for a point, or is it 2 million or something for a win. There'd be coefficient points involved in any sort of result as well. And, I don't think that's offside, is it? Sometimes it's difficult to tell with the cross coming in like that if they're behind the ball or the defence, and it can be a little bit difficult, yeah, but it did look okay. And we have fallen behind. Depe not really anywhere near where he needed to be, was he? And yeah, we can't really have any complaints about that. It looked absolutely fine live, and so it proved. All right, let's try demanding more here, perhaps. We've had a decent share of possession. You'd probably expect that given how deep they're sitting. But yet, Baltinson's got an injury. We've got a free kick here to defend as well. Can Rafferson make a save? No, he cannot. And this is the feeling of something that's all going a little bit wrong, doesn't it? We don't have a backup striker on the bench. Nelum and Rojas are both injured. So, depending on what the injury is, we'll either have to tell Baltinson to suck it up, or we can move Aliku forward and bring on someone like a Mashalek to play in that number 10 role for us. Does it say, if I missed it, what the injury was? We're just not good enough, are we? We're just not good enough. We don't really have wingers for this one either. We have Palacios. We have Palacios and Jofferson to go left and right hand side. Oh, that is a hat trick for Vlahovic. Depe never seems to play well as a wing back. The other option is Collar. I'm just wondering if maybe this formation isn't helping us. Imminent beaten in the air, which is also disappointing. He is quite good in the air normally. And yeah, well, we've not really shown up there in that first half at all. I'm going to say that was pretty much terrible. It's a big ask to get 3 goals in the second half against Juventus, isn't it? Could we do anything differently? The only thing I can think of is if we drop a little bit deeper, maybe. I don't really want to step up. Injured and struggling. Potential knee injury. All right, so what we don't need is Baltinson getting himself some sort of long-term injury here. So we'll make that change, and we will continue. And hopefully, you know, we've got stuck up them at half-time. They'll respond as Gadini tracks back nicely, but Juleson can't. Oh, Rafferson can, and we will go again. Let's give it a focus, maybe. Early in the second half. What we don't want, of course, is to go and get absolutely hammered. And at 4-0, you might argue that is exactly what is happening. They had already qualified, so there was sort of a little bit of hope there, perhaps, that maybe that would come to our rescue. All right, we'll just give Collar a game. He can't do any worse than Depe, he says confidently. Oh, they're just absolutely destroying us. All right, let's try exploiting the flanks and play with a bit more width. Play with a lot more width, actually. Yeah. See if we can stretch them a little bit. There's Wemberto. It could probably be his last game for us, I imagine. The frustrating thing with Higuain as well, as I just sort of go between thoughts in my brain, he was willing to come back. He was willing to stay with us on loan. He just didn't want to join us permanently, and Manchester City wanted a mandatory fee. So it's just a little bit unfortunate. There's a good ball out there for Juleson. Can we get a cross in? We can. Aliku back for Gadini. Oh, and he's got a goal against Juventus. And it is 4-1. And we need 2 more goals to break this record. And it was nice. Gadini set that up as well, didn't he? Wonderful, sweeping ball out. And Aliku played it back. And the goalkeeper will want that back. But the Gadini strike was powerful enough to find the back of the net. And it is now 4-1. We've got a free kick. Aliku over it. Ball in. Headed away. And is Chiesa going to go the length of the field here? Come on. We win that with Collar, do we? Yes. Collar's looked actually quite good since coming on, hasn't he? Here we go with Bakali looking for Collar. Just not quite on the same wavelength there, the two of them. And we go again with our defensive press. See if we can win it back. We've always got this problem, of course. We got a bit of a spanking from Tottenham last episode, second game. When we come back from... Oh, it's 5-1. When we come back for the last 2 games of the Champions League phase here, the issue that we are always going to have is it's after our international break, after our off-season break. And so the players they just, for whatever reason, I don't quite understand why, we're off for a week, basically. The players get a week off all year. And their match sharpness has just gone back. It's like it's a hard reset that the game does, which is a little bit frustrating. We don't look particularly good defending a set piece here, do we? Jesus Christ. Alright, well, what can you do? Second ball in, and yeah, we might just make... Rafferson's having a nightmare. Alright, I'm just going to berate them. Something I'd say, it's one of these where something I've said pre-game has not worked out, and Juventus haven't got the memo that we were supposed to get the goals in this one, not them. Let's take Bakali off. Let's get Antonio on out there. It might well be, too. I wonder if the double Mazzellas is not doing us any favours. I mean, that could be feasible, right? Maybe that's leaving us a little bit too open in midfield. Alaku over a free kick. Can he get a second? Oh, it's off the... No, it was just over the top. Come on, boys. Come on. The berating is firing him up. If we can get one goal, you never know. Maybe we can go and get this record, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Or is it? It's the 90th minute. If we equal the record again, imagine that. 2 seasons in a row with 49 goals. Yes, we get most of them in the qualifying. Here we go with Alaku. Heavy touch. It's still there for Collar. Collar chips it in. It's Umberto, and almost his last touch as a Grindavik player was the 49th goal. But in the end, it is a 6-1 hammering at the hands of Juventus. A very poor performance, and we didn't even manage to get our goals we wanted. So in the end, Juventus are likely into, or maybe not, there's a couple of teams behind them that still have to play. We are going to finish almost certainly in 31st place, because the teams behind us, Bodo Glint, would have to win by 3 to overtake us, which maybe they could do. But the difference between 31st and 32nd is not great, is it? So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, disappointing in Europe just all around this season. So Degen suffers defeat. Oh, of course, we got him from Juventus, didn't we? Against his former team. Baltinson's injury is a bruised knee. Degen is going to be suspended for the first qualifying, but that's absolutely fine. We will not miss him in that at all. But guys, that is that European disappointment again. I think partly it was just down to just a really, really difficult draw that we got, wasn't it? But we'll do our best to bounce back next season. But right now, we have our end of season awards coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Grindavik End of Season Awards! Thank you everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you and welcome to our Grindavik End of Season Awards. It's been another season, dominant domestically. We get into the European Champions League phase, and we just keep coming up short, don't we? The boys are trying their best. Ultimately, they're not good enough. And I mean that with all the love in my heart, guys. You're just not good enough. But as I say, you try your best. So you just need to do better, boys. You just need to do better. Okay, the first award this evening is the Golden Pen for this season's signing of the year. And this guy couldn't get it done against his former team, but he cost us 7.5 million and has looked very good for the most part this season. So congratulations. The Golden Pen goes to Lars Degen. Next up, it is the Golden Bullseye for the player who has completed the most passes per 90 minutes. And I've got to say, this one is a bit of a surprise to me. Didn't expect to see this name popping up as the winner. But congratulations, with an average of 98 passes per 90 minutes. The Golden Bullseye goes to Hansi Mortensen. The next award is the Golden Spoon, awarded to the man who feeds the strikers, player with the most assists. And this guy has been just a star of the midfield for many, many seasons at this point. 14 assists this season, not quite his own personal record tally, but still very, very impressive. Congratulations to the second best Australian at the club, Antonio Bakali. The next award is the Golden Anchor, awarded to the player with the highest average match rating. And, well, another guy that just keeps getting the job done for us week after week after week. We've just seen him up here. Goals, assists, he has it all. Congratulations, Antonio Bakali. No, mate, still the second best Australian at the club. Obviously, I will always be the best, mate. You just got to accept that. The next award comes to us from the medical department. It is the Golden Cross for this season's most injured player. And this guy, unfortunately, he's left us. He missed 27% of the season. We'd really, really like you to come back, though, mate. Congratulations, Rodrigo Higuain. The next award is the Golden Soother, awarded to the baby of the team, this season's best young player. And this guy, just absolutely brilliant. Time and time again, he's just, maybe not so much today, but typically very, very good. Congratulations, the Golden Soother goes to Josefo Rafason. The next award is one of the big ones. It is the Golden Boot for this season's top goal scorer. And this guy, when the tally stopped for the season, had 29 goals. It's always a 2-horse race. I suspect a 3-horse race possibly next season with Alaku joining us. But yeah, congratulations. This season's Golden Boot was won by Neil Valtensen. Next up, it is the Horse's Ass for this season's worst player. And this season, it is going to be the Horse's Asses. And there is 11 winners. And those winners are the players that couldn't beat 9 men Hertha Berlin. What were you doing, guys? £2 million and how official points that's cost us. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. The next award is one that does mean so much to everybody here at the club. It is the Viewers Player of the Year. I do just want to take a minute to thank everybody who nominated and also voted for their Player of the Season. And this season, the winner is Neil Valtensen. Now, before we get to naming this season's Player of the Year, we do need to acknowledge the Team of the Season. So if you do just direct your eyes up to the screen, you will see that the goalkeeper is, of course, Rafason. Who else would it be? The back four is Tom Jones, Immonen, Unison and Julison. The midfield trio is Gisarasen, Bakali and Turpinson. Your wingers are Nellum and Iskala. And the striker, maybe controversially given when he came in, is Alaku. Congratulations, guys. You've all been brilliant. Iskala, you won't be great next year because you're not here anymore, but the rest of you, I'm sure you'll be very, very good. And it's now time for the big one to award the Golden Star for this season's Player of the Year. And this guy, it's not the first time he's won it, and I dare say it won't be the last either. So your Player of the Year for Grindavik this season is Josefo Rafason. Very well done. Very well done. Congratulations to Rafason and the rest of the winners this evening. It always feels a bit of a downer this time of year because we've been getting our backsides handed to us by Europeans Elite for the last couple of games. But I say it every season, we're getting there. I feel that we're getting there and we have more money to spend. There are new signings coming in. We will be stronger next season than we were this season. And that's all we can really ask for, isn't it? And Higuain, if you want to come back on loan, mate, we'd love to have you. But I look forward to seeing everybody back at the new Grindavik Stadium next season. Until then, thank you for watching at home. Thank you for watching here in the auditorium. And enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. So there we go, end of season awards done for the year. But let's have a quick look here and see how we have done. Now, our signing of the year was Degen. Difficult to argue with that. Obviously, Alaku would be that's a higher fee, but he was being quite good as well, hasn't he? Averaging 18 goals in 10 appearances is decent, isn't it? So let's have a look here. Cristobal is only a C. I do think he's a good player, but I just wonder if he's not going to ever quite get a chance to prove himself because there's just a lot of good strikers at the club right now. Did anybody that leave go and do anything? Not really. Diana is playing okay for Napoli. Parisi is playing a little bit. But yeah, no one's really gone and set the world on fire, have they? So that's always a little bit disappointing. Although we have sold them because we don't rate them, so I guess it's not that disappointing. It's only a C for winning the league these days and losing one game. I wonder what you've got to do to get an A there now. Champions League. Now, of course, at the time of this recording, we are about to face Nice, and we sit outside of the outside of where we need to be. So obviously, I have no idea what's going to happen. It could be disaster. It could be brilliant. But as time of recording here, we are doing a B-rated job. The Icelandic Cup, of course, the Gags went on and won that this year, which was very nice. The Charity Shield, we won that. And we also, to complete a clean sweep domestically, won the pre-season League Cup. So very, very nicely done indeed. The biggest win, the 9-0 at the start of Champions League qualifying. The match to remember, a 5-1 against PSV. Not bad for the old mantelpiece, that one, is it? And goal of the season is the Gisarasen goal that was actually second in the league. But it's given us our goal of the season. And of course, we will have our own vote on that with 3 others that I deem worthy momentarily. The finances, we have had, it said we had a minor reputation increase, but in fact it looks exactly the same. Money, everything is on the up, which is good. Obviously, Baltinson is the top selling shirt with Aliku, Bakali, Gadini and Jonsson as the rest of the top 5, and I don't think anything there particularly surprising, is it? The team of the season, so Rafferson in goal, Tommy Jones, Immonen, Unison and Juleson as the back 4, Gisarasen, Bakali and Turpinson in midfield. There's a few surprises here. Iskala, we sold him relatively early on, and Nelum, Aliku up front does not surprise anybody, I don't think, but Baltinson, Gadini, I mean, you could have 10 strikers up front, I think, and we'd still wouldn't be doing too badly. So there we go, that is the team of the year. And the accolades, so the fans player of the year was Rafferson, young player of the year was Rafferson, signing of the season was Deggan, as we saw, top goal scorer was Baltinson. He will do well to keep that title next year. Between him, Gadini and Aliku, it's difficult to give them all the game time, to be honest. Most assists, Bakali once again wins that. Most man of the match awards, we don't give it out on the night, but Gadini won that. Highest average match rating was Bakali, and most passes completed per 90 minutes, perhaps surprisingly, Hansi Mortensen, and most players by most goals by a player. That was, of course, an all-time record for the club for Gadini, and Aliku is the highest fee that's ever been paid in Iceland. Never mind just Grindavik. Competition awards, Icelandic Golden Boot was Gadini, and the Young Premier League or Pepsi League Player of the Year was Immonen. So well done on him for winning that as well. So history in the making. That is all very, very nice indeed. The Dynamic Manager timeline, I don't think anybody has cared about that ever. So here is the Pepsi League in review. Kea and Grotta went down. It was IBV and a new team that I'll have to check who it is in momentarily here, but they're coming up. So it's a brand new team that hasn't been promoted, certainly during our time in the league. There's the signings of the season. Our overall best 11. We'll come back to that momentarily. But of course, Sayas is back at the club now as a coach as well, which is nice. We have got our best 11. Where are they now? There we go, just confirming Sayas is... No, it doesn't actually say it, but trust me, he's back at the club. I think I showed you earlier on. The season in review, we just saw that. 2024 side, where are they now? That is going a long, long way back, isn't it? So, yeah, that is that. And supporter profile update. So we've lost family and corporates. We've got some more Fairweather fans. Social media up 100,000. Wow! That is insane. Now, of course, we did go knockout rounds of Europe last year, but that's more people than is in all of Iceland, isn't it? So we are breaking out of the Icelandic bubble, I guess, for lack of a better term. But there we go. So that is everything. As ever, we will now have our goal of the season vote. If you are new to the channel, the goal that was given by Gisarasen plus 3 others I deem worthy will be available to vote on at the end of the little compilation here. Just go and click the little link below. It'll take you through to a straw poll where you can vote, and we will announce the winner of our goal of the season early next season. But until then, guys, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I will see you for a transfer special next time around. Take care. And here are the top 4 goals from the 2032 season. Don't forget to vote for your favourite.